Never in history have problems towards climate change triggered the world like the present. Although climate change is happening, many people still refuse despite being exposed to empirical evidence. So, what exactly is climate change? What is its empirical evidence? In scientific explanation, is climate change real? Why do people try to deny it? And what could we do? First, look at its definition according to the United Nations. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. Scientists depend on two factors to tell us about climate change. They look at the temperature anomalies, which is a departure from the average temperature over a period of time. In these two graphs, one can see the gradual increase of the global temperature. When consuming this information, many would ask, so what? For those who deny climate change, they simply say that's just the natural cycle. In this case, let's move to the second factor, the heat wave. Here are four charts representing the heat wave characteristics in the United States from 1961 to 2019. We clearly see they all have a significant upward trend, especially after the 1980s. Yes, climate change may be a part of nature, but it's a thing that we must care about, and we make it happen faster and more deadly. To prove it, take a look at two main severe effects of climate change. The first is health. The dirty fossil fuel emissions that contribute to the greenhouse effect cause air pollution and lead to severe respiratory diseases in children and adults. According to WHO, air pollution kills an estimated 7 million people worldwide every year. So, do you want to be one of them? The second is extinction. Climate change poses risks to the overall ecosystem. Forest fires, invasive pests, and diseases are among many threats. Few species will be able to relocate and survive, but the vast majority will not. You might think this only affects animals and plants, not us. Well, sorry to let you down, but remember that we are living in an ecosystem where the extinction of one species can have such horrible repercussions on others, and human is definitely not an exception. Now, let's take a step back, close your eyes, and reflect on yourself. Are you afraid you are destroying your self-life in this world? Are you partly responsible for bad things that are happening? Don't you know how to fix them? If the answer is yes, and I hope it is, then I believe you might deny climate change because we can't think of proper solutions and we all want to avoid criticism. We may not acknowledge that climate change is partly anthropogenic, although we all observe. But do you want to be a penetrator? I bet you say no. So small but good actions are needed right now. And remember, the micro makes the macro. Your actions just make huge sense. Design your own way to live. Changes are hard, but micro changes are much less. To end this video, take a look at the boiling frog metaphor. You may have heard about the story of a frog that adapts to temperature in the gradually heating up water pot to death as it boils. Well, the earth is the same as the water pot. It is getting hotter, and we are adapting and appreciating this change without any reservations. So, are you being a boiling frog?
Created using Powtoon.